Hello, hello. Happy whatever day you're looking at this. Yesterday we introduced systems of equations, which was when we had two equations with the same two variables in them. Now, today we're taking a look into story problems and being able to use a system of equations to help us look at different scenarios. So, the first part of class, which you are not here for, we practice creating regular equations. This one is all about creating a system of equations, so just hang with me. We have several we'll do together, or you'll try and then check your answer. So sometimes when we have more than one situation happening in a problem, this is when we need to use a system of equations and create them to help us solve the problem. So when we have more than one scenario happening at the same time. So for example, here in this problem, we have at the beginning of the school year, Mrs. Long could do 2 pull-ups. 1, 2. As she continues to work on it, I'm able to increase the number of pull-ups I can do by 1 every month. So we need to create the equation for me, and then Miss Zach started the school year being able to do 4 pull-ups that increased by 2 every month. So 2 different scenarios, 2 different people. Each of us are going to be represented with our own equation. So I can do 2 pull-ups to start. Remember that whatever our rate is goes next to the x. Our starting value comes out over here. So I start at 2, so that goes here. And then I increase it by 1 every month. That is my rate. We put that next to the x. So that is my equation that represents me and the number of pull-ups that I personally can do. Ms. Zach, her starting was 4 pull-ups. So again, the starting goes over here on the end, and then increases that by 2 every month. So her rate is 2, and that again goes next to the x. And now we're done. That is the system of equations that represents these 2 different scenarios. Okay, so again, if you look at this, x represents the month that goes by. If 1 month goes by, I've added 1 pull-up. If 2 months have gone by, she's added 2 pull-ups. So x is our number of months, y is our total amount of pull-ups we can do. Okay, I'm going to model one more, and then I'll have you pause me to try the next 2. So you're trying to figure out what phone company to go with. Verizon charges a $15 fee and 40 cents per minute. Sprint charges $30 for a monthly fee and then 25 cents per minute. Create a system to represent this. So we're creating an equation that represents Verizon and one that represents using Sprint. So same thing, we want to identify the rate for that company and then its starting fee. So its starting fee is this $15 a month, and that's for Verizon. So for Verizon, its starting value is 15. That's how much you start by paying, and then we add on the 40 cents per minute after that. That's its rate for minutes. So that is going to go right here. So we're going to put point, you can type it in if you want. I'm probably going to start doing that because this is very challenging. Okay, 0.40. So the rate goes next to the x, and then we have the monthly fee. Go ahead and create Sprint's equation. Pause me, create Sprint. It should take like 20 seconds. You might not even need to pause me. Alright, Sprint's monthly fee is $30, so no matter what, you're starting by paying at least $30. And then we're adding on this 25 cents per minute, so that is their rate, so we write that right next to our x, so 0.25. Alright, there's our 2 equations, one for Verizon, one for Sprint. We've created our system of equations. Alright, I want you to pause me now, and I want you to try these 2. So one for the clown example, and then one for this job in engineering. Pause me and come back when you're ready. Okay, so for the balloons, clowns are fun, was $1.25 per balloon, and then a starting $6 delivery fee. So no matter what, you're for sure paying that $6 delivery fee. And then you're adding $1.25 to that, depending on how many balloons. That is their rate per balloon. So that is the number that goes next to our x. So 1.25. For singing balloons, They have that $2 delivery fee, so that is their starting value. And then their rate was $1.95 per balloon. So we're going to put that number next to our X. Hopefully you did okay on that one. Fix it if you got it wrong. If you came back to get the answer because you didn't want to do it, pause me now to try this one. Otherwise, hang with me if you're ready to check your answer. This one I'm going to type just because it's a lot of numbers. So we have, looking for a job engineering, you find one at company A, and their starting salary is $52,000, and then they increase it $2,500 per year. So we have Y equals, the rate is the thing that goes next to my X, so that 2,500 X plus our starting value, which was 52,000. For company B, they have a starting salary of 64,000, but only increase your salary by 1,000 per year. So their equation is Y equals, their rate was 1,000 per year, so 1,000x. And then we add our starting rate, which was 64,000. Man, wouldn't it be nice to make that much money? Whew! All right, there's our two equations. Hopefully you did okay on that again. Now we're going to dive into actually applying this. So like, why is this useful? Why is creating these equations like important to me? Or like just in general, why do I need to know how to do this? The reason this is important and useful is because we can take two different things and we can compare them, and we can then like choose whichever plan would be like better for us. So we're going to do a phone example here to help us see this. So we have, let's say one is comparing the cell phone plans shown in the advertisement. So we have plan A, $15 for a monthly fee, and then the 40 cents per minute, the $30 monthly fee, and the 25 cents per minute. Okay, create your equations. So plan A, I'm going to again type these. We have our rate was 40 cents a minute, and then we add that $15 monthly fee. We pay that no matter what. For plan B, go ahead and create that equation. I'll give you a second. Indeed, that one would be 0.25 cents X, because that is our rate, plus that $30 starting monthly fee. Okay, calculate the total cost under both plans for various minutes used. So calculating minutes. We have our X value, we just got to plug that into our equation, and then it'll spit out a number. I'm going to use a calculator to do this. You absolutely can as well. I am not expecting you to do this without a calculator. Okay. Cool. You can see everything there. I need to move my little face. Okay, so we're going to start with plan A. That's the first one here. And we're going to do 0 minutes. So if we plug in 0, well, I know that is just going to go away. So 15 is all we have left. 20 minutes is where things get challenging. So we're going to do 20 times 0.4, because it's 0.40 cents a minute. So 0.40 times 20. So that means it's $8 for those 20 minutes. But then we have to add that $15 monthly fee. So it's $23 if you only use 20 minutes. Now I'm going to do the 40 minutes. So we're going to do 0.40. So 40 cents times 40 minutes. So $16 if you use 40 minutes, but then add that $15 monthly fee. And we're at $31. All right. I want you to go through and fill out the rest of this table. You have both plan A to finish and then work on plan B. So plan B, you'll do the same thing. You're just going to use the second equation that you created. Pause me now, get it filled out, come back when you're ready. Right, there we go. I have my table filled out. Hopefully you did the same. Pause me to check your numbers and make sure you got them correct. Otherwise, just take a moment, pause me, and fix them if they're incorrect. All right, so based on this, what do you think the solution is? So look over these. What point do you think the solution is? Remember that these minutes are your X values. and then it's the price in here is your y value. Hopefully you would say, and you notice this one right here. Notice how both of their y values are exactly the same. And that is going to be the solution for this problem. If you were to plug in 100 for x, both of these put out a 55. This point makes both of them have a true statement. So we're going to say the point 100 minutes, and then the y value is 55. So now what I want us to talk about is, well, what does that mean? What does this solution represent? Well, for plan A and plan B, the solution means that after x, which x represents minutes, so after 100 minutes, what happens to the price from both companies? They're the same. So after 100 minutes, both companies would charge you the same amount. So if you know you're going to use 100 minutes, does it matter what company you choose? No, because they both charge the same. What if you were planning on only using 40 minutes on your phone? What company should you choose? Probably plan A. At 40 minutes, plan A only charges $31 versus that plan B, which was 40. All right, on to the next one. We have Ishmael's a private math tutor who charges $20 per hour and $5 initially. Homework Helpers is a tutoring company that charges $25 initially and then $10 per hour. So go ahead, we're going to create the system of equations first. Pause me and try to create the two equations for Ishmael and then one for Homework Helpers. Pause me now. All right. So Ishmael does $5 initially, so that'll be right here, and then 20 is his rate, so that'll go next to the x. And then for Homework Helpers, it was 25 initially, so we have the 25 over here, and then 10 per hour, so 10 is the rate that goes next to x. Okay? Calculate the total cost for both of them for various hours of work. Okay, so same thing, now you are going to plug in these numbers into our equations to figure out their values. So if you have Ishmael tutor you for no hours, you're still going to pay him $5. 1 hour, 20 times 1 is 20, plus 5, so that's 25. Cost of 2 hours, 2 times 20 is 40, plus 5, so that's 45. 3 times 20 is 60 plus 5, which is 65. And then 4 hours is 80 plus 5, so 85. Go ahead, pause me now, and fill out your column or your row for Homework Helpers. Figure out the cost for having them tutor you. Right, so when we end up with is this right here. If you need it, go ahead and pause me. So I want to know, what is the solution? So what ordered pair for this would be the solution? See if you can figure it out. Hopefully you notice that this right here is where they're all the same, so that is going to be our solution. The x value was 2 because 2 hours, and that would cost you 40, or in that y value is 45. So now what does this mean in the context of the problem? So remember back up here, it meant that after 100 minutes, both companies would charge you the same for your phone. So see if you can put in a sentence what this one would mean. Pause me when you finish. Try to explain what this means. Right, so this would mean that if you are getting tutored for 2 hours, both companies, or both, I'll just say companies, would charge the same. So if you're planning on being tutored for 2 hours, it doesn't matter who you choose. If Adam only wants to tutor for 2 hours, which company should he choose? Oh, I'm going to change that, sorry, to 1. If he only wants to tutor for 1 hour, he should choose Ishmael because he's cheaper. All right, there's a you try problem down here. You have the answer key for it. So once you complete it, see how you did.